It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, today I was watching Fridays with Frank. He puts that out every Friday. It was exciting stuff, a great episode. He had my friend Ed McLaughlin on there. Ed McLaughlin is the owner of Predictive Insight. That's the company that's using the EKM technology platform. It's a DCA technology here in the United States. We all know that EKM was purchased by Tech Data. And folks, I've been pretty vocal on that. I mean, I've written articles, I've done all kinds of videos on it. I'm talking to the entire document imaging channel, those friends of mine that sell, supply, and service print equipment, about this massive disruption that could come into the marketplace based on a wholesaler having this types of technology. And it's not a conspiracy, it's a disruption I'm talking about. And so today what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about Ed's video, so we'll start out there. And then I'm going to share with you the disruption. And by the end of today's video, you could decide on your own, is it a conspiracy or is it a disruption? Because there's a lot of confusion, and even Ed himself was confused because of the way he addressed this topic inside the video. He's confused on the way I'm thinking, so I want to make sure that Ed's clear too. And so without any further ado, I'm gonna pull up this video. We've all seen, Fridays with Frank, right? Go on there, Fridays with Frank. There's Ed. He's talking to Frank, and the title of this is, Ed McLaughlin of Predictive Insights on Tech Data, EKM, and HP. And he's talking about how there's some people in the market. Well, there's not a whole lot of people. He kept going back and forth on that. I wish he would have just said, hey, on the end of the day with Ray, you might have heard some of this stuff, and I want to clarify something. I give permission to everybody to use my name that way. Seriously, you just use my name. Hey, I heard on the end of the day with Ray, and Ray was saying this, and Ray's totally out of his mind, and that's not true. That's a big conspiracy, and let me set the record straight. I have no problem doing that. Go ahead, folks. I mean, I use your names in videos. Feel free to use mine. But Ed, in this video, it's about 5 minutes long. I suggest everybody listen to it because he clarified a lot of things. He also validated a lot of things I was talking about. Of course, he won't think he validated anything I was talking about, so I want to clarify that. Here's some of the things he said. He said that EKM currently does business with the OEMs. He rattled them off. He named HP, he named Brother. Folks, let me ask everybody a question. Those of you that use ECI's DCA technology, are you aware of ECI doing business with any OEM? Does their technology, do they let OEMs use it? Do they have wholesalers using it? Are they going to sell to a wholesaler? Who knows? They might. Can you imagine if they did, the outrage? But yet we're going to support one that's owned by a wholesaler. It doesn't even make any sense to me. But that's the difference. Maybe our friends over at ECI Automate ought to just start making those DCA technologies available to whoever wants them. Put an ad out there. Hey, HP, you want a DCA tool? Brother, Epson, here, we got a DCA tool. Go ahead and use this. Go in the marketplace. They don't do that. And my argument, not a conspiracy, has been this. Without the print sector, without those friends of mine that sell, supply, and service print equipment, DCA technologies would not even exist. Those technologies are for that industry. And that's where the money is. And Ed McLaughlin and all the DCA players know this. They know that they have to get the big copier dealers to pay them so much money per serial number for those entire MIFs. And as long as they can get them to do that, until they can't get them to do that anymore because print is falling off a cliff and it's being disrupted by other resellers and technology companies, we can fund the development of our DCA technology. Let's get all the copier dealers to switch to us and pay us all this money so we can fund the development of our DCA technologies, and those DCA technologies can then be deployed by all kinds of people. And we can even sell them directly to the OEMs who compete with dealers every single day. This isn't a conspiracy. This is a disruption. Ed said in the video that all the data's safe. I'm not questioning whether your data's safe or not. I don't think Ed's out there stealing your data. I don't think Tech Data's out there stealing your data. But if you give them permission, they're going to look at it. When you sign the Amplify agreement and they're telling dealers to load up the PrintSolve DCA tool, which is now the EKM product, right? PrintSolve was the old Cynex tool. So think about it. Load up this tool, sign this agreement, and then HP and TD SEDEX, when they get together, they can audit your account with the data. That's not a conspiracy. That's an actual fact that's happening right now today. And the reason it's happening is because the dealers agreed to that program. If the dealer doesn't agree to that program, I don't believe that Tech Data is going to steal the dealer's data. They don't need to steal the dealer's data. They just need to get the dealer's data from somebody else. The same data, I should say. It's not the dealer's data, but they're going to get the same data the dealer has, and somebody else is going to get them that data. And the somebody else that gets them that data doesn't give a shit about it. They'll give it to them. That's the disruption. That's not the conspiracy. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let me just show you my storyboard I put together here. And I want to go through this with you, and I really want you to pay attention. And I'll try to make this short, but it's a complicated process to talk through this. And a lot of folks, they only want to hear one or two things, and then they just jump to some damn conclusion, and they say Ray said this, or Ray said that, or Ray's out there is a big conspiracy nut. The bottom line is, what I'm talking about is real. Okay? It's real. And it's extremely probable. And so I want you all to think about the big hospital in your marketplace. You're the copier dealer. You got an IT services company, TD Senix, EKM, HP, Predictive Insights. You know, if you go to Predictive Insights website, there's a little graph down there and it says this. It's not about data, it's about knowledge. Ed, I agree 100% with you about that. It's not about the data, it's about the knowledge. It's about who's buying the knowledge. It's about who's selling the knowledge. It's about who's acquiring the knowledge and what data is being used to acquire the knowledge. That's what it's all about. But in the end, it is definitely about the knowledge. And that's a fact. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I put this picture, this MPSA video I did where CompTIA threw away their Managed Print Services program. And I want to just remind everybody that the IT service community doesn't give a shit about Managed Print Services, okay? That's another disruption. That's a threat. The fact that they don't care about it is a threat. So get all this in your head. So the first thing I want to do is I want to jump over here and I want to share with you the about of EKM. And I want you to listen to this with me, okay? I'm going to read something. ATTCO and EKM Global are privately held companies deployed across 105 regions in every continent with established support operations in the UK, North America, and Australia. We know that Ed is in the North American with Predictive Insight, selling the EKM technology, right? We know that. But why doesn't that say that's a wholly owned subsidiary of Tech Data? Why doesn't it say that? I'm just saying, I think it should say that. Because maybe they watched my videos, maybe they read my articles. Oh, we better not say we're owned by Tech Data. Ray's stirring up a whole lot of, I mean, he's stirring up all kinds of conspiracies. We got to get that name off our website. I think you should put it on there. But here's something I want you all to get your head around. I want you to read this. It's on the About page of the EKM website. Just go down. It says who we do it for. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. EKM Insights is relied on by many leading manufacturers, managed service providers, resellers, and wholesalers to deliver efficient, all-around printer fleet management for thousands of customers. EKM Insight also gives companies and enterprises all the tools they need to manage their print requirements in-house, giving them a freedom to work with whichever reseller or wholesaler they choose. Do I need to read that again? Go to their website and read the who we do it for. And if that doesn't describe to you that they're selling their software to enterprise customers direct, what doesn't? I mean, that defines it. You can use our tools. We have all the tools you need to manage your print in-house. Doesn't that mean they sold it to them direct so that this in-house person can use any wholesaler or reseller they want? Isn't that what that means? So it's safe to say that EKM is in fact selling their software direct to end users. If not, they really should clarify that. They really should, folks, because here's the reality. Colin Bosger, you all know Colin Bosger over the UK. He was one that was heading up EKM before Tech Data bought him. Now he works for Tech Data, but he's on a video, and this video actually has subtitles. And this is what he says. Well, it's never competing with channel partners. That's something we don't do. We will never do. I don't get it. If you're selling to customers' enterprise accounts so they can do managed print in-house and pick any reseller or channel, how does that not selling them direct? How is that not bypassing the channel? I don't get that. Or have you just brought in who's in the channel? Maybe that's it. But then he goes on to say, distribution is unlikely to do so as well. He doesn't say never about distribution. He just says it's unlikely. Because Colin's a smart guy. He knows. He knows that distributors could very well go direct one day. Why wouldn't they? Who knows? No one's going to predict never. Never say never, right? But we need to question that a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, here's the reality. March 2nd, 2022. Tech Data has an announcement, has a press release. Let me just read it. Tech Data to offer market research as a service. Tech Data to offer market research as a service. When I read this article, I got so excited because it just validates everything I've been talking about. It takes this thought that some people have as a conspiracy and really starts letting them think about this as a disruption. So let me just, I want y'all to go there. You just got to read the article, okay? But I pulled up some highlights of it. And Tech Data to offer market research as a service. Market research means they need to have tools and software so that they can provide research to end users. So let me just read some of this. This agreement enables Tech Data partners to integrate exclusive market research and consulting services into their offerings for business customers. The focus is on helping clients identify, realize revenue opportunities in emerging technology segments. Boy, that sounds exciting. Hey, we got together with Tech Data. We're Markets and Markets. We're this big research company. We're going to help you with all these tools, go into your customers' offices and help them gather all kinds of cool information. Wow. Could you see where maybe a DCA technology could be really important as part of that research? I could. The subscription-based service provides analysis on key megatrend categories, including artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, connectivity, robotics, smart manufacturing, and wearables. This is done via Markets and Markets Knowledge Store Market Research Data Cloud Platform. Wow. Research as a service. Folks, who is this Markets and Markets? Who are these people? Well, I just, pull up their website. Who are Markets and Markets customers? Let me just read a few of them for you. 48 out of 50 top healthcare IT companies currently do business with Markets and Markets. Markets and Markets, with a relationship with Tech Data, is offering what? Research as a service. Tech Data, hey, we have our own tools here at Markets and Markets, but you have some tools too. Don't you have a DCA tool and some capabilities to pick up all kinds of information around print equipment? We want to make that part of our analysis to a local hospital. Can you help us with that? Do you see how that could probably work? Do you see how that's really a disruption? That's not a conspiracy? Do you see how those pieces of the puzzle can come together? I'm sure you all do. Folks, 43 out of the top 50 automotive companies, they're already there. They're already there. They're already talking to the customers of the print channel. And now Markets and Markets, through resellers, can offer these customers what? Research as a service. So let's just jump down here, folks. And I put all this together. Let me get my Sharp Interactive board working here. I'm going to explain this to you. And I need you to stick with me. Because this is the disruption. This is the disruption. And it's clearly not a conspiracy. So, we have our copier dealer friends. And let's just say that the copier dealer friend that we have in this particular town where there's hospitals at is in Predictive Insight. So they signed up with Ed. They're using Ed's DCA tool and they plugged it into this hospital. And they didn't sign the Amplify agreement. This particular dealer's smart. No, we're not doing that shit. We're not giving HP any data. So they have the data and they're filling toner orders and they're getting fancy pie charts and they're doing all this stuff with the DCA tool provided by Predictive Insights. And this dealer's data, it's safe. I'll give him that. Ed said in the video that it's in a server. He just didn't really clarify where the server was. And a lot of times these upstarts, is the server in somebody's closet or is the server actually in a secure data center? I think that's something Ed should address. Because in his video with Frank, he just said the server's here in the U.S. And I don't think any dealer wants all their data in a server in somebody's closet. Just saying. And then over here, folks, we have an IT services company in this market. Okay? They don't have a DCA tool. They never sold a print in their life. They never want to sell print. They think print's stupid. They went to a CompTIA meeting. Someone tried to teach them print management, and the IT reseller said, "Are you out of your mind? Throw that in the trash." You see where I'm going? See how all these puzzle pieces fit together? Well, this IT services company is doing a lot of business with TD SYNNEX. And TD SYNNEX says to him, hey, you know what? You're buying all this equipment for that big hospital you told me about. You know, we have research as a service. Did you know that? We did an agreement with a company called Markets and Markets. And part of that research platform, I mean, we could research like all the print devices in that hospital you do business with. Really? Well, I don't really care about print, but what else could I get out of this? Oh, man, all kinds of research stuff and the print stuff. I mean, we'll just give you that. We'll throw it in. But it'll tell you, like, if there's any printers in there that aren't secure, if they're late, if they're old models, they haven't been updated with firmware. You know, all the stuff that HP tries to fool people with all the time. So think about it. Think about this, folks. This is a probable scenario. This is not a conspiracy. And so this IT services company says, well, that'd be kind of cool. Let me go out there and offer my hospital research as a service. And part of that research we're going to provide them, we're going to look at all their print equipment. And once we get all the data on all the print equipment, we don't want to do anything with that. We'll just give that back to Tech Data. What do we care? We're never going to sell a printer. Do you see how this is important? Because if the IT service provider doesn't care about the data, it doesn't matter how secure it is. He just gave it away. And why wouldn't he? This IT service provider is never going to do anything with print. What if the Tech Data rep tells this reseller, though, hey, you know, we studied that print out of all the print devices that are in that hospital. Oh my God. They've got some old Konica machines in there that are just totally insecure. They got old Sharp machines, old Ricoh machines. It's a hodgepodge mess. You know, we have some partners that could help you with that, to clean up that print space if you're interested. I had to pause because that's not a conspiracy. That's a probable disruption. Because now this reseller's like, well, that's kind of cool. I don't ever really care about selling print. So yeah, if you could take all that, go for it. I'll bring them in. Who's the company? Well, are you assuming that you're going to be the company that IT company brings in? Probably not, because you don't buy a whole lot of stuff from Tech Data. Right? This company's buying millions and millions of dollars from Tech Data, TD SYNNEX, right? They're friends. They talk all the time. Hey, we have a company, it's a big HP house that could help that customer in that hospital with the print stuff. Would you take them in and introduce them? Absolutely. So they get together, they go to the hospital. Guess what? This guy with the safest data in the world, nobody took the guy's data, but you know what they did do? They called him up and said, you're no longer needed, and they cut the line. And the new line went to this guy or gal. That's the disruption. It's not a conspiracy. Market research as a service. Research as a service offered by Tech Data. Tech Data owning DCA tools and DCA technology. It's a home run for Tech Data. I have no qualms whatsoever with Tech Data. This is not about Tech Data doing something wrong. This is not about Tech Data doing something wrong with HP. If dealers are stupid enough to give HP access to their data, dealers are stupid enough to do it. Who cares? This is about not your data being unsecure. This is about technology being used by people that don't give a crap about print. And then if they give that data to people that can take that information, that knowledge, and provide that knowledge to somebody else that cares about print, you just got disrupted. And over the last 4 or 5 or 6 years, the Document Imaging Channel, those friends of mine that sell, supply, and service print equipment, have been paying DCA tool companies so much money for every serial number, so these DCA tool companies can build better and better platforms to allow other people to disrupt the marketplace. And like I said earlier on, maybe ECIE Automate ought to just start selling their DCA technology. Maybe they should have their reps running around town going to hospitals and say, hey, we have a tool that you could use to manage your fleet in-house and decide whatever reseller you want to use. They don't do that. They're your partner. That's the disruption. It's not a conspiracy. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to remind everybody of this as I close the video. If you want to have a debate with me, invite me to the debate. And if you want to read about all the content that I put out there, wait a second, let me show you this, folks, because it's out there on my website, End of the Day with Ray. Go to my content collections, powered by Flipdeck, distributors, HP, and DCA technology. All kinds of content there. I'm going to include this video in that. And like I said, you know, if Ed was talking about somebody else, Ed, verify who you were talking about. If somebody else is out there that's been vocal as I've been regarding DCA technologies, distributors, HP, EKM, Predictive Insights, I'd love to know who you are, because I haven't seen it. Some things to think about, my friends, because we all know this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all on Monday.